What is going on, guys? Snickel here, and today I have another trophy talk for you. I know it's been quite some time, but this is for the week of October 20th, 2019. I think it's been about 3 weeks. Again, I do apologize. I know in the last video I said I should probably just upload these once a week because I know that people just like listening to them, even if I don't have or I haven't played anything. I should just kind of just upload them to give people some background noise and just some updates on generally what's been going on in gaming, and just overall what I plan on doing, even if I don't actually get anything done. So the past few weeks have been quite successful. Some trophy related, some game related, working towards trophies, which I'll talk about. But all in all, I think it's been quite successful. I've gotten more into the groove of playing games, finishing games, streaming recently. So I've kind of hopped out of my little funk that I was in. I was in it for a little longer after I made that video or the last trophy talk, but I think I've kind of knocked myself out of that, and we'll see what comes out of it. But all in all, I think I've been making some pretty good progress when it comes to gaming and what I've kind of wanted to chip away at the past few weeks. And it's taken a little bit longer than I really anticipated on it taking a few games. But again, that just comes down to me and putting the time in and putting the effort in and actually getting stuff done. And I want to talk about something real quick before we talk about the trophies, because this topic came up on stream the other day, and someone basically asked me, how do I like pick the games I play? How do I not get burnt out? I think it might have been Gribman and a few other people were kind of asking, how do I pick games and not get burnt out from playing them? Even though it can seem that way sometimes, like that little funk that I was in. That wasn't me being burnt out from games. That was just like a whole mental issue that I was going through, and it had really nothing to do with gaming. So the way that I don't burn myself out from gaming when it comes down to it is I simply just play games that I enjoy to play. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, Snickel, man, how can you sit here and tell me that you enjoyed doing Twisted Metal? How can you tell me that you enjoyed playing Evolve? How can you tell me you enjoyed playing Mod Nation Racers and all these other games? How did you enjoy playing these? And it just comes in spurts, kind of, and sometimes it doesn't. Twisted Metal, for example, is a game that I literally pounded out in like 5 days and got everything done. And to be completely honest with you, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever done. I actually enjoyed it. It was enjoyable to play the online by myself and be able to make progress. That's a game where, like, when you're playing by yourself, and it's very satisfying. It's going to sound a little weird, but it's very satisfying to play a game by yourself online and earn online trophies and be very efficient with it. That can be very satisfying. So with Twisted Metal, that's what was happening. These are trophies that people are complaining about. These are trophies that people think are impossible. And I was just breezing through them. I was having no problems with them at all. And then when it came down to playing the single player, it was an enjoyable single player. So all in all, I enjoyed the game. You have a game like Evolve. How did you enjoy Evolve? To be fair, it didn't come down really to the game itself. The game did have high points, don't get me wrong. And it could be a little confusing to play at times. But when it came down to it, it was more about the people that we were playing with that made it somewhat enjoyable, the conversations. If you're going to sit there and play Evolve with 5 or 6 people, however many it takes, and not talk at all, it can be very boring. And we had that happen one day with a group of random people, and it was very boring. It was not entertaining at all. It kind of felt like a little burnout. I wanted to stop a few hours in, not even a few hours in, like an hour in, I wanted to stop. But I kept pushing through just because we had the people. But that just came down to the people that I was playing with. So when it comes down to me picking games and playing games and kind of doing what I do have issues with it sometimes. I do have problems. I own a lot of games, and it can be pretty difficult to pick what game I kind of want to focus on and what game I want to go for. But when it comes to burnout, I don't play anything that I don't want to play. I don't put myself through games that I would not enjoy if I was not playing for trophies. Trophies to me are just an add-on. Right? If you're playing a game strictly for trophies, you're going to get burnt out because you're not going to actually enjoy the actual game. You're just going for trophies at that point. So that's kind of how I don't get burnt out. I just pick games that I want to play, that I think I'll enjoy, and hopefully I do enjoy. And I have games on my list that I haven't touched in forever just because I didn't enjoy it too much when I played it. And I do want to go back to them, and I do want to re-experience them to see if it was just, a fluke when I played it the first time, or if it's actually a game that I really don't think I'll enjoy. Will I push through and get the platinum? Depends how difficult the game is. Depends how much time it takes. But I would like to, for completion percentage and just being a completionist. But I'm not going to force myself to play a game that I don't want to play. So that's how I kind of deal with not burning out when I'm playing games and picking games, because I know a lot of people talk about it all the time. They get burnt out. They play things too fast. They do this, they do that. I just pick games that I think I'll enjoy, and then I just play them, And you're probably thinking sick games like Far Cry 2. I know I talked about it. You're probably thinking in your mind, like, these are sick games. Operation 7. You really think these games are fun? I mean, yeah, kind of. Far Cry 2, I would love to play the single player. I'd love to play through it. But part of getting the platinum in Far Cry 2 is just the experience of the online. Is it going to take a little bit of time? Yeah, but it's a game you can do completely by yourself if you want to, other than a few trophies and a few weapons. But for the most part of that game, for the online, you can do it by yourself. So you're on your own schedule. You can have the satisfaction of getting stuff done and being efficient. Same thing with Operation 7. I mean, that came down to a few more people, but that game was more about the people we were playing with more than the game itself. The game was funny to look at. The game was, it had its moments. But that came down more to the people you were playing with. So that's just what it comes down to. MotoGP 0910, all these games that you see on my list, old PS3 games, poop ass games, I want to play them. I want to enjoy them. And it was a joke, not really a joke, but, a while back, there was a lot of people, because I used to always say, I enjoy the really bad games. Because the thing about a really bad game is if you play a really bad game, it's going to make you really enjoy a really good game. So if you play a bad game, like, let me try to find a pretty bad game that I've played. We're not going to count trophy horror games. Let's find a legitimate game that's like, that's bad. Game of Thrones, perfect example. This game is pretty bad, right? Now, I haven't played too much of it. I think I played the first 2 chapters, so I haven't played too much. But from what I've played, it's a really bad game. But if you were to play a game like Game of Thrones, and then you went and played a game like The Witcher, you're going to appreciate The Witcher so much. You're going to appreciate it when you play it, no matter what. But if you have memories and you have thoughts of games that are worse than it, you're really going to appreciate the little things, the little functions, the little mechanics in that game. They're going to stick out to you, and then you're really going to enjoy them. So that's kind of why I enjoy playing bad games. And again, I'm a completionist, so if I'm playing a bad game, I want to get the platinum. I'm not going to put a game on my list and not get the platinum, right? So at least that's not the intent. So, but that's just a little side topic before we get into the trophies and what I've been playing and what I plan on playing, because it was a topic that came up in stream. I'll give the same answer every time. I don't get burnt out because I pick games that I think I'm going to enjoy playing. And me personally, it comes down to, I love racing games no matter what the racing game is. So I will never get burnt out on a racing game. Most sports games I like. Golf games, you guys know I like. Any third person game I'm a pretty big fan of. Really any game in general, I would like to experience it to some degree. There's even bad games like Terminator Salvation and Aliens Colonial Marines. You just got to experience them. So that's how I deal with burnout, right? And the other way that I kind of deal with it, I haven't been doing it too often, but another little secret method that I use, I guess you could call it, to kind of deal with burnout is I don't focus. I do sometimes, but other times I don't. But I sometimes don't focus 100% on a game. I'll play like 3 games at one time, and I'll kind of just play them and circulate through them and kind of just work my way through. And then you're not putting all your time in, and you're burning yourself out with that one game if that's what is going to happen. I've had burnout in games. I've had burnouts in games. For instance, Red Dead 2. I mean, for some reason, I've had the biggest urge to play Red Dead 2 recently. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why didn't you get it done a year ago when it came out? And it just came down to, I got it when it came out, and I played so much of it when it came out that I kind of burnt myself out from the game. Like I said, I experienced burnout, and I've put the game down for over a year. I haven't touched the game since I basically stopped playing. Well, maybe not a year, maybe like 10 months or so, but I haven't played the game in that long. And I'll get back to it at some point. I'll go play it at some point. I'll make the decision to go back to it. But when I burnt myself out, I wasn't going to force myself to keep playing it just to get it done. Just put it off to the side, and then we'll play it again at some point. So that's another way that I kind of deal with burnout, is I'll pick multiple games at a time sometimes and circulate through them. And that's kind of what I'll deal with. And with me streaming and doing YouTube and all this and that, what I usually will do is I'll have a game that I stream, like a stream game. And then I'll have a game that I play in the background that I don't stream, that I'm working towards the platinum. So like recently, the two that I was doing that with was I was playing MotoGP 09 in the background. You guys didn't really see too much of that. You saw trophy guides and everything. But the game that I was doing on stream was Rory McIlroy. And you didn't really see trophy guides for Rory McIlroy just because I was playing that on stream. Now, obviously, when I got to the MotoGP Platinum, I did play that on stream to get the Platinum, to show you guys the Platinum. But that's kind of what I do. I'll kind of have a game in the background, play that game in the background when I'm not streaming, because I play, surprisingly, I play games when I don't stream. So I don't want to play a game on stream, play 4 hours of it the next day, and then kind of leave people hanging for, well, that's not where you were yesterday. Even though I could give a quick description and just be like, hey, well, I did this. I just don't want to leave it hanging. So that's what I do there. So I juggle sometimes 2 games. Usually I used to do multiple games, like multiple genres at a time. Like I'd be playing a racing game at one time and an RPG at one time, and an action game and a first person shooter. And I would rotate through them however I wanted to play. But I kind of learned over the years that it's hard to juggle like RPGs, because you sometimes have to invest a lot of time in, and you have to remember a lot of things just to play the game, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this video. Not an RPG per se, but I'm going to talk about it in this video. But that's how I deal with burnout. Again, everyone is going to deal with it differently. Some people aren't going to get burnt out. Some people will get burnt out really quickly. It's just up to you. It's up to the games you play. And like I said, if you get burnt out from a game, if you get burnt out from trophies, you really won't get burnt out from trophies. You're going to get burnt out from games. And if you get burnt out from games, just pick another game up that you want to play, whether it has trophies or it doesn't, and just play it to get back in your groove, and then slide back into the other one. Because I play games without trophies. I play a lot of games without trophies. Well, not a lot, but the main game that I play without trophies is Rocket League. I played on PC a pretty good amount. And I just play that game to have fun, not for trophies or anything like that. So that's how I deal with burnout. A little bit of a long intro there. We up to the 13-minute mark, but you know, I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I didn't talk about it too much in stream. I kind of just gave a general answer, kind of just said like, this is how I deal with it. But I figured I'd go a little more in depth in here in this video. So anyway, let's get into what I've been playing. Hold on a second. So it's been quite some time. So the first thing I want to talk about that I don't have trophies earned for yet is Destiny 2. So I think I mentioned this in the last trophy talk that I started working towards the Destiny 2 100%. There's 2 more trophies that I need to get for the 100%, that being completing the Last Wish raid and earning a Triumph Seal. So the day that this video is coming out is actually the last week that I need to play the game to get a Triumph Seal. I'm going for the Dreaming City Triumph Seal, and you need to play a minimum of 6 weeks to get this seal, because you need to play each Ascendant challenge, and you need to go in there and collect corrupted eggs and Ahamkara bones in each Ascendant challenge. And there's 6 Ascendant challenges that reset every week. They're not random, they go in order. So if you start one week, you're literally going to get it at the end of week 6. So this week is the last week of me getting eggs and Ahamkara bones in the Ascendant challenges, and then the game is just going to come down to playing the Last Wish raid, getting the last few corrupted eggs in the Last Wish raid, which will get me a Triumph Seal, and then completing the Last Wish raid and getting that final trophy. So Destiny 2 should be 100% very soon. Now, Shadowkeep did come out for Destiny 2. I don't know if this came out last time. I did buy Shadowkeep. I was anticipating trophies. A little bit of a letdown, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Just means when I get done these 2 trophies in Destiny 2, I can kind of put it to the side, and if my buddies ask to play, I'll go play with them. I don't have an issue, but I'm not going to go out of my way to play. Destiny was a game that I used to play a lot. Destiny 1 was a game I put so much time into. Destiny 2 was a big letdown for me from Destiny 1. So that's just me though. Again, could be burnout. Could have been burnt out. I could have got burnt out from the first one. So I didn't really, I was let down by the second one because I got burnt out from the first one. So anyway, up next we have, I'm going to skip Doom and Tekken 7 because I did those by the last video. Up next we have Far Cry 2. So I did start this up. I don't know if I talked about this in the last video. NCS Fan and I have been playing a few times a week, not really putting too much time and effort into it. I know he's been putting more time in because he's grinding stuff by himself. Perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. But what we did was we did revive stuff. We did, he did War Party, which is a pain in the ass, but I got that back in 2017. But yeah, we did the revive stuff. I did the download and rate 25 user maps. And then right now we are currently working on multi-kills. So that should be interesting. That should get done pretty quickly. I can technically do the multi-kills by myself because I sadly have 3 copies of the game. So once we're done the multi-kills, I should be able to start blowing through the weapons. And my goal is to try to put about an hour in every night or two and try to get a few weapons done a week and get the game done in a few weeks. It's kind of my goal, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes because it's really not that bad of a game. And if you have the dummy accounts or whatever to play with and get the kills on, it's really not that difficult. Just takes a little bit of time. So that's coming along. I won't be starting the single player till I do Far Cry Classic, but I do want to get the multiplayer done just because I want to get it done. It's notoriously known for being like a pain in the ass. And like I said, it might sound sick to like try to go for this, but like I said, I'm not sitting here and playing 12 hours a day and knocking this out. It's something that I'll play for an hour every few days, try to get a gun done, and then play another game. You know, it's literally a background game. Nothing more than that. So that's kind of the goal with Far Cry 2. But right now I am trying to get done the multi-kill stuff done. Well, I'm trying to get the multi-kill stuff done kind of as fast as possible, but not too fast, just because that's really the only thing that NCS Fan and I need each other for. So, but they're coming along. Then up next, we have MotoGP 0910. I finished this platinum up finally. I finished making all the guides for the game, so those are all out. I started writing a text guide for PSN profiles for the game. Won't get any views probably, but I think I might start writing some older PS3 text guides for PSN profiles just because, you know, that's my bread and butter, baby. My bread and butter is those old PS3 games. Those are my favorite. PS3 is my favorite console. But yeah, got the MotoGP 0910 Platinum done. Getting a win with each rider was a bit of a pain, but it wasn't too bad. Only took about 2 or 3 hours. So did that in a stream and a half-ish, something around there. Now you're probably wondering about MotoGP 1011. Part of me wants to start MotoGP 1011 right now, like right after I got done 910, but I'm kind of waiting. One thing I want to look at, the online for it is way easier. Like, so I had the trophies for the max lobby, or winning in a max lobby in both games. MotoGP 910 required 69 wins online, and MotoGP 1011 only requires like 20 something. But I need to figure out if there's like that doppelganger trophy, the trophy for winning with each rider. I need to see if 1011 has that. If it doesn't have that, I can just hop on 1011, knock the multiplayer out, and then let it sit for a little bit just because I want to get that done. The multiplayer, at least I want to get it done. The whole platinum would be nice, but I want to focus on the multiplayer. But that's where those MotoGP games stand. Again, finally glad to get MotoGP 910 done. Look for a video out on the channel soon. Then up next, we have Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. Started this about a month to 2 months ago. The events became available. The daily and weekly tournaments became available. So the platinum became available. So I played through that. It took a little bit of time just because I had to play through the career mode in extra time because I chuffed something and I was an idiot. So I had to play back through the story mode another time. And then on stream, I was playing the challenges. and they were a bit of a pain in the ass. They took a little bit longer than I anticipated them taking, but all in all, it wasn't that bad. Got that platinum. Again, you'll see a video on the channel for this game in the next few days, week maybe. We'll see when I can get around to it, but you'll see a video for that fairly shortly. Then up next, I have MK10 on the list. No trophies yet. The reason I put MK10 on the list was because of the invasion stuff. So, probably about a month or two ago, invasions became unobtainable. They actually just stopped doing them. And recently, I don't remember when it was, beginning of October-ish, somewhere at some point, they started the invasions back up, and I think they only put about one up a week now. So I put the game on the list just to see when they or if it was loaded up onto the game. So I'm gonna try to get the invasion stuff done when the invasion boss pops up. There's a few trophies. They should be pretty simple to get. Let's find out. I think there's 4. So you have to win an invasion 1v1 fight, complete an invasion tower, deal 1,000 total hits during an invasion boss fight, and play an invasion boss fight. So pretty easy stuff. This one take a little bit of time, but I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's why MK10 is on the list with no trophies. I'm just gonna do the invasion stuff, and then we'll kind of go from there. But that's at the good old 0%. And then up next, last but not least, we have Sekiro. I forget how to pronounce this game already. Came out earlier in the year, I think in March. This was another game. I don't really know why I put this game down. I definitely didn't get burnt out from it, but I can't remember why I put this game down. But after I finished up the Rory Platinum the other day, Sekiro was next on the list to play. So started it back up, started playing back through. Verified a few things with a guide just to make sure I wasn't missing anything or missing any items, because you have to do like 4 endings in the game and it's a pain in the ass. But somehow the platinum is almost at 30%. Doesn't make sense to me. Seems like it should be a little more rare than that. But anyway, I'm working through that. I had a blast going back and playing that the other night on stream. It was just so much fun. I don't know why I put the game down in the first place. I have no idea. But yeah, I went back on stream, started playing back through, and just really had a blast. I mean, obviously, it's a Soul style game, right? It's from Software, so you're gonna have some frustration playing it, right? You're gonna feel like you're cheated. You're gonna feel like it's not fair. That's just normal. That's normal to a Soul style game, Soulsborne game. You can't get around it. So obviously, you deal with the saltiness at a few points, but it is very satisfying to get stuff done. So right now, I'm just doing a cleanup or what's going to be going on, because this is a type of game where like you really don't earn trophies. You're going to earn bronze trophies for beating bosses, and then all of a sudden, when you start finishing the game up, it's going to be like bang, 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 bang. You're going to earn like all the trophies at one time. It's pretty ridiculous, but that's just how some of these games are sometimes. I can see why they do it, but it can be annoying. So I've basically gotten to the point in the game where I need to kind of backtrack, make sure I have all the items that I need before I progress any farther. And then progressing farther, I'm going to get to a point where I need to save and do the multiple endings and stuff like that. So it'll be a little bit annoying, but luckily there's like plenty of information on how to do it online. So I'm not really going into it blindly like people were back in March. So that's what I've been playing this week. I do want to make note, I'm usually not a person to care about milestones or numbers or anything, but I did hit platinum number 150, so that did happen this week. Kind of cool, I guess. I actually went into my stats last night after I ended the stream, just to kind of like look at what I had done in the past year. So it's what, October 2019, October 22nd, 2019. So in October... On October 21st of 2018, I had 120 platinums. And I don't know how many total trophies that is, but that's got to be... Let's just throw a ballpark number out there. It's like probably like 9,000 trophies, something around there. So in the past year, I've gotten 30 platinums, and I've gotten probably around almost 2,000 trophies, 1,500 to 2,000 trophies. So that's way more than I usually earn. But yeah, I'm usually not a person to care about numbers. But when I got to the 150 mark, I was like, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see where I was a year ago. So that's pretty cool. So what do I plan on playing in the upcoming week? Well, MK10, really, I just want to play that, get that done, or the invasion stuff done as soon as possible, whenever it's possible. On stream, again, just going to be playing Sekiro, hopefully be knocking that out within the next week is kind of the goal there. Again, I don't think I have too much more to do in the game, even though I only have 18% of the trophies. I just need to clean some stuff up, do the few endings, and then that should be that. I should have that platinum. So again, not super worried about that. And then Far Cry 2, just playing through that whenever NCS Fan and I are available. Really, not really pushing for anything, but getting the double kills and stuff done, or the multi-kills will be pretty useful. And then the other thing is Destiny 2. Just playing through that DLC, getting the rest of the corrupted eggs and Aham Carbones to get the Triumph Seal, which is going to be the most pain in the ass thing, and then finishing the Last Wish raid. So it's a lot of stuff on the plate. I've been having some issues over the past week, which I don't know if I talked about this in the last video, but just juggling essentially games to play. I was talking about this with Waves last week. It's probably like midweek. Basically, like I'm having the same issues that I always have, where I just have too much going on with playing games. Like I'm trying to stream, so I'm trying to play those games, right? I'm trying to play other games in the background that I'm not streaming, that I'm not playing with people that I just want to play. Then I'm playing games with other people, like I'm playing Far Cry 2 with NCS fam. Then I'm playing Destiny 2 with, another group of people. Then I'm playing Rocket League on PC with 2 other people. So, I'm like trying to juggle all this stuff. And usually when it comes down to it, I don't initiate trying to do anything. I kind of sit back, and then if someone asks me to do something, I'll kind of be like, sure. Unless I'm busy, I'll step forward. So that's kind of the issue I've been having, is trying to juggle all that stuff and figure out what I want to do and when I want to do it. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been streaming over the past few weeks, and why I haven't really been earning trophies and making trophy guides and putting platinum videos out and earning platinums in general, is just because of the juggling and the amount of time that I was really putting into Destiny 2 was a decent amount. And I was putting a decent amount of time into like MotoGP and stuff and not really seeing anything out of it at the moment. But that's finally come to fruition. So, it is what it is. But yeah, it's what I've really been having issues with, is just kind of juggling what games to play. And like I said, I don't initiate anything. So if no one says anything and I feel like streaming, then I'll stream. If no one says anything and I don't feel like streaming, I'll play the game in my backlog or whatever I wanted to play. If NCS fans says let's play Far Cry 2 and I'm not doing anything, let's hop on Far Cry 2. If my buddy messages me and says let's play Destiny 2 and I'm not doing anything, we're playing Destiny 2. Most of the times he's the same way in Destiny 2. He's the same way I am. So we both sit back. So that's why sometimes we aren't very productive, because we don't initiate anything between each other. Most of the times I'm initiating stuff with Destiny 2. Just is what it is. But yeah, I do want to get that done. And like I said, this is the last week that I'll have to be like consistent and sign on, just to get the Ascendant Challenge done and get all those eggs and Aham Carbones. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is just general problem that I've been dealing with over the past few weeks. And it's really something that I've been dealing with while I've gamed, while I've started doing multiplayer doing, multiplayer in games and playing with other people. Has just really become a problem, because, well, not a problem, but it's just really become more stuff I have to think about, more stress, more bullshit, basically. Not saying it's all bullshit, but it's just more stuff that I have to think about. I'm thinking about, rather than just like playing games to play games. I'm thinking about all this other stuff, and who am I letting down tonight, and what am I being unproductive tonight? Oh, I'm making a bad name for myself. So, I've been dealing with that for the past probably going on. When did I start doing online pretty like religiously? 2018. So actually, no, it was 2017, I think. Yeah. So going on like 2 years. I've been pretty set on getting multiplayer stuff done and kind of tying myself down to help out here, there, and everywhere. And I think I talked about this in the last video, but I more or less I spread myself thin sometimes, kind of commit to too many things. And then on top of all this gaming stuff that's going on, I am also trying to keep somewhat of a social life. I am trying to keep somewhat, I try to work out 3 times a week, for a solid hour to 2 hours. So, I'm trying to do all this stuff while then doing all this, while then doing all that. So, it can be a lot of stuff. And like I said, I think I do spread myself thin sometimes, and I do have to disappoint more than I don't disappoint, more than I it's just funny because it's like it happens with my friends all the time where they'll kind of just invite us to go out to something or like make plans to go to the bar or something. And I'm kind of just, I don't message, right? I don't message back because if I'm streaming, I'm not going to, if I'm streaming, I'm just going to keep streaming unless I've been streaming for like 5 hours or, a significant amount of time and I want to do something, then I'll make the plans. But if I'm streaming and then they're like, let's do something, and I kind of just don't respond, it's kind of like become a thing where they're like, oh, wow, man, Steve's actually showing up to stuff now. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I do. If stuff is planned out properly, I do show up to stuff. So that's just, it is what it is. It just depends what's going on. But like I said, I feel like in my brain, I feel like more times than not, I'm disappointing people. So that's why I kind of spread myself thin, is because I do not like to disappoint people. I like to help people. I like to be there for people. I like to be helpful. I said I like to help people, but yeah, I essentially like to be that person that's kind of there for everything. And sometimes I cannot physically do that, and it kind of sucks. It's like one of the reasons why I've been like getting in my head recently about like streaming. It's like, man, I haven't streamed for like 2 or 3 weeks, more than that maybe. Can't even remember the last time I streamed, but I streamed over the weekend and I enjoyed it, and it seemed like everyone that showed up enjoyed it, and it was a fun time. And I don't want to sit there and commit to doing it every day because, like I said, stuff might come up. This might happen, that might happen, but I do want to commit to being more consistent, but it just depends on what happens. And like I said, I personally don't want to let people down. That's one of my biggest, pet peeves of myself, is just, being, letting people down. Cause sometimes, like, to be honest, and this is issues that I was having over the past few weeks when I wasn't playing games and I wasn't streaming, I wasn't really doing anything. When I was in like my depressed state, it was just because of that. I felt like I was essentially a disappointment to people that I was talking to people that I was around, and it just made me, I don't want to make it sound like I was gonna, I wasn't worth anything. That's not what I'm coming off as at all. And it's not like sounding like a pity party or anything, but yeah, I mean, it's essentially just like I more or less felt like I was disappointing people. And again, I hate feeling that way. So that's why I kind of like, I took a step back. I stopped, that's why the gaming slowed down. I took a step back from everything, kind of just thought everything through. And I'm better now, way better. But yeah, that was just part of the issue that I think I was having. And it's just part of the issue I have with everything. It's just like, I don't want to disappoint. Which I feel like no one strives to disappoint, but, I don't know. I'm definitely like, I think I'm harder on myself than I should be about it. So no, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't want to make plans and then not show up. I don't want to tell people, yeah, I'll boost this game and not show up, or yeah, I'll stream tomorrow and not stream, or yeah, I want to put a video out, but then not put a video out. And it's not like I do it on purpose. If I do it, it's not like I do it on purpose. It's just, it is what it is. It happens, I feel like. So, I don't think I have anything else really to talk about. We're going on 35 minutes. Not too bad. Not too long of a video. I know in the last one I was making jokes about I can't make this an hour long. And people were saying, don't push for an hour if it's going to be basically garbage talk. Make it as long as you want to. Cut it off when you feel like it's good. Call it a day. And that's what I think I'm going to do here. So yeah, that's what I've been up to the past few weeks. That's what I plan on doing in the next week. I don't want to make broken promises that this video will come out next week, another one. Just depends how much progress I make in gaming and if it's worth actually making a video. If you guys want to see kind of live updates and stuff that I'm playing, obviously you can subscribe to the channel. You'll see trophy guides for most games that I'm playing. You'll see platinum trophy videos for games that I get platinums in, and I'll just give you guys a quick rundown of that game. Another place that you can find me playing games is at Twitch, over on twitch.tv/I'm Snickel. Links down in the description below. Over there, again, I just play certain games. I don't play every game that I'm playing on stream. I said playing a lot. I don't play every game that I play on stream is not the game that every game that I'm playing at the moment. Like I said, I kind of pick a stream game and roll with it for a little bit until I get the platinum and move on to another stream game. So if you want to go follow me over there on Twitch, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, just stream all type of stuff, and I stream every time I get a platinum or 100%, plus more. You know, I just don't stream when I get platinums or 100%, so I'll stream playthroughs of games and other things. So if you want to go follow me over there and you kind of want to see live updates on stuff and you want to chat over there and ask questions and get some live answers, you can go follow me over there on Twitch. Again, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. You know, I do appreciate all comments, and I try to reply to them at some point. I might not reply right away, but I try to reply to them, reply to all of them at some point. If I think it needs a response, which most of them, you know, they deserve responses. You guys are great people. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Check all the stuff out down in the description below. All the links, my Twitter, my Twitch. You find a link to all my platinum trophies that I've earned since I started this channel. So if you want to go check any of that stuff out, I would greatly appreciate it. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing for more trophy content like this. And I hope to see you all around sometime soon.